coming out of the old hairpin. Oh no!
JC's going to send it? You bet he is. Oh, look at the Aston, just with the nice little battle here. Carrying huge speed through the crater curve.
Aston runs wide and he's in the grass.
Oh, there's a bit of contact.
Oh, almost side by side through there.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to RaceOnOz Hungaroring. And Jamie, I haven't introduced you yet, but did I said that wrong, didn't I?
It's the Hungaroring we're at here.
Oh God,
Round 2, Season 5.
Yeah, it is too. No, well done, and thank you, mate. I appreciate you jumping in there and correcting me. I had a little bit. I just reflecting back on last Thursday with my pronunciation of words, and Scotty P, Devon, who supported me through that broadcast, was very quick and proper to correct my pronunciation. So I made a really big effort tonight to try and get that right, and it still didn't work. So bugger. But mate, just wanted to say hello to the people out there watching. Already got HSV. G'day mate, how are you? Daz. And just want to say a big welcome to Jamie for joining us in the commentary team tonight again. Hello mate, how are you?
Good, thanks Ads. Great to be here again. Really looking forward to this one. Wet race, and I'm sure we're going to see plenty of action.
I reckon you might, mate. I'm thinking that if you're on trackside this afternoon watching these guys, you definitely want to have a big umbrella up. There is a fair bit of rain. The track is pretty wet, so it's going to certainly make for an interesting night, especially off the back of round 1 at Misano. Do you want to talk us through just some of the detail of who finished where and how competitive a certain team was compared to other teams?
Yeah, so firstly it was great to have a full race grid for the AM last round at Misano. The guys put on a fantastic show. Of course, GRT Games and Racing really took it home with a 1-2-3, so they locked out the podium. And fantastic result from Tabasco and Interrules in second. Adam Kammer on debut rounded out the podium in third, so it was fantastic racing. They were very close all throughout, and I know Captain Dog will be thrilled with the performance they delivered. Looking further down the field, there was great battles all the way through, and we seemed to be stuck on Incy and Black Falcon for a lot of it. Incy's Jag and Black Falcon in the Nissan, two interesting car choices, and they were giving us so much action all the way through the race. I'm sure the guys needed a beer and a lie down after that one. It was fantastic to watch. Yeah,
I think I can't remember who it was. It might have been Black Falcon actually posted a photo of his shirt, which he took off. It was just a photo of his shirt, so not him and his shirt, which was good. And it was drenched, so he certainly he worked behind the wheel from what we could see, and in his rig it looked like he did the same thing as there as well. So good on him. Hey, I just wanted to HSV's just put a comment up there too, mate, just saying that the voices are too low. So HSV helped us out round 1 with some of our tech issues that we're having. So if he can give us a thumbs up, let us know if there's been any change or if there's anything that we need to do. But we'll just wait and see if we get some feedback come through. You spoke about Tabasco, mate, and GRT, finishing 1, 2, and 3 positions. And Tabasco, he fought off some challenges from his own teammates. And then, sorry, I'm just getting that information from HSV, see if I can up my... Yep. Yeah, I've already done it as well. So microphone's right beside my mouth. Yeah, so just getting back to what I was saying with regards to Tabasco, absolutely stellar job to finish in position one. You know, it's when starting off a 5-round season, it's certainly where you have those results from race one is at the top, which basically, you know, in terms of a championship points, it puts him in a really good starting position. So
Absolutely, and you know that will motivate the rest of the grid as well. All the other teams and the team captains will be really keen to see their drivers improve and take it to them, because no one will want to see them run away with it. We want to see a nice close battle throughout the rest of the season. So let's see what we can pick up from the guys here in quali when it gets underway in a few minutes' time.
yeah, well, I am pretty excited about tonight's race actually. Just I guess off the back of last week's race with the pro guys. As we are very well aware, there was quite a big first corner accident, so which didn't fare well for some of the guys, and some of us that made it through there unscathed. It was probably helped us to have slightly higher positions at the end of the race, so that was quite helpful too. I'm hoping that tonight isn't like exactly the same as what happened last week, and that the guys can just race around and enjoy the night, because you know you have a crash at first corner and you get damage, it just destroys your night.
Yeah, and we obviously saw quite a few of the guys higher up on the grid after quali get taken out of contention there. I'm still not quite sure what happened. I haven't watched the in-game replay yet, so I've only seen what was on the broadcast last week. But yeah, it looked quite unlucky for quite a few of them. But you know, the drivers who managed to come through, you know, really took advantage of it. Were careful where they placed the car coming out of turn one, and that'll be a key here. If a similar situation happens, you know, it'll be the guys who are really concentrating, paying attention to what's going on around them, in front of them, behind them, because if you do, then you can take advantage of any sort of misadventure that's going on from some of the other drivers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying there. Yep, sure. Let's jump in there. Alrighty, so I'm just going to jump on board with Sir McSquid as he comes down the front straight in the Team BHR Bentley, which just looking at the behaviour of the car, Jamie, just his turn in and exits looking quite good.
Yeah, this will really be. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, we're dealing with a wet race here, but you know, it's not monsooning. It's not overly heavy rain. So, whilst it is still very, very slippery, and you need to be very careful with your throttle and your turning inputs, there's grip to be found. So, you know, if we're having a look at him here, he can still kind of chuck it in a little bit. And if you go hunting for the grip, there is some there, and you can pick it up.
Yeah, most definitely. But how sketchy are the curbs? If you know, you drop a wheel out on the curbs there. I'm not sure about yourself, but you know, when I made contact with them, it certainly unsettles the car.
Yep, absolutely, and it's really key how you input and you take off the throttle when you hit those curbs, just to minimise that impact. Because if you're on throttle or increasing your throttle at that moment, then you're surefire going to end up in a spin.
Absolutely.
And they seem to be, the curbs seem to be much slipperier here. I remember last season's wet round was at Barcelona, and the curbs were slippery there, as they always are in the rain, but I feel like they're even worse here.
Yeah, they're very nasty. Just as Squid comes around turn 14, he's on the gas, and he hasn't improved on on his best time. So quali's about to kick off. We've got Hungaroring. There we go. Hungaroring is located in Hungary, which is just outside of Budapest. Track length is 4.38 kilometres. The track consists of 14 turns. And as we both know, it's difficult to overtake, and it's twisty and bumpy. So, you know, if you're in first position, then happy days. But if you're not, then certainly, you know, look at being patient, and also that, you know, if you're sitting behind somebody that you put a little bit of pressure, enough pressure that they're going to make a mistake, and capitalise on that mistake where you can. So let's just go out and have a look and see who is started going around already. We'll jump on board with Fresh Prince. I might just jump out of his cockpit because it just highlights how much difficulty he's actually having with this car. So the Porsche is a good car to drive in the dry, but I've definitely found it to be a handful in the wet.
Yeah, and it's something that he would have possibly have considered when he picked it and thought, I'm just going to give Hungaroring my absolute best. It might not be, you know, my best result of the season, but you know, he's perhaps looking at it from a full-length season perspective rather than this one race. But I'm sure he'll be a bit frustrated if he can't quite get out of it what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I know that we've spoken about this before with regards to you know, the performance on the night. You know, if you're not getting what you want to be in terms of a position, that's not meeting expectation. Pulling out and not finishing a race is absolutely critical to points not being gained through your team. And looking at the teams already with the current standing, so you know, we've got team GRT on top with you know, just 372 points already, and BHR close behind with 361. So P&L 342, ICR 338, which, you know, HSV's just commented about ICR is going to be strong this season, and then with Selby Acoustic Racing down at 336. So, you know, they're not big gaps. We've got 4 more rounds to go, and we know that every point counts.
Yep, absolutely. And we reinforce this every week because it is so important. The team's championship in both the last couple of seasons has been won by a margin of less than 15 points, I believe. So, yeah, if you have a spin, if you have an incident with another driver, if you mess up your pit stop and accidentally take tyres when you weren't supposed to, or take dries when you were meant to take wets, come back in, rectify it, and get back out there. It's so key for your team.
It looks like Adam Cameron's just exited the pits as well, so it's a little bit surprised that with sat in the pits there for a couple of minutes. I thought that he would have been out there straight away like most of the other guys. So we're yet to have somebody actually post a lap time, so be interesting to see who pops up into P1. So Team Little Bear will be coming across the line first in the Bentley for P&L, and we'll just see what he puts down here. A minute 53.3, so that's not too bad, Jamie. That's quite good.
I was keeping an eye on him in practice, and he was getting around there in the Bentley, so that's good news for him. I'm sure he'll be thrilled with battling in the midfield there, although he's just taken a spin on the exit of turn 1, but he's got the lap time in, so he's got something to work with now.
Yeah, so it's interesting that we had the Aston Martin race there last Thursday, and there was a little bit of a battle between Team Little Bear and JJ. So looking at this time now, it looks like that was probably quicker than JJ's qualifying time. So that's probably something that he'll tuck away in the memory bank and bring it up every now and then. So good on him.
So interestingly, they're all in a big pack around the circuit. There's a few guys kind of out on their own, but there's a big train headed up by 577. Bits are missing coming into turn 3, so they all just registered times very, very quickly, and Adam Kemmer has just gone over the line himself with a 51.7. So he's currently holding provisional pole.
He had, yeah, that's a quick time. But interesting that Blake Falcon 2/10 just behind him, and you know, when we were on board with Blake Falcon there in the practice, it looked very untidy and just didn't look like he could pull it together. But he's pulled out a decent time here also. We've got my good mate Scotty P in position 4. Rupin Youngfella commentated last week with myself. Yeah, he's such a good young man. I had a really good chat with him, probably for about 30 minutes, I reckon, before we went live with the broadcast. And you know, he's got some really good ideas on certain things and life. You know, for somebody that's in his situation in an electric wheelchair, is doing his studies and all that sort of thing, and doing quite well. So. Is he? Let's have a look at him. Let's jump on board with him. In the Ferrari. Turbo Acoustic Racing. So Scotty P's about to come down the front straight. And there you go. He's just put it into P1. So that is a brilliant effort. And I'm gunning for him too. I know that I'm in Team BHR, but I just wished him all the luck last week to put it up there. So. Yeah, good on you, mate. But then Cameron's just taking it back.
Certainly has. So some of the drivers coming into the pits going to refresh their tyres and go out for another crack. We've got Sir McSwid still out there cycling around in the Bentley.
Speaking of the devil, Mr. Vic Chan is in the room. G'day, mate. How are you? Yeah, so Squid's is doing all right. So far we've got Adam in P1, Scotty P in 2, Black Falcon in the Nissan in P3. So times are close. There's a few tenths difference there. Last week. Mate, seriously, the qualifying times between position 1 and 14, I think it was just insane. I think I qualified in position P11, and I was 5/10 behind pole position time.
It was very, very close. Yes.
It was. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Scotty P's gone into the pits by, what's it, no? Who's 421? Is that? Oh no, it is Scotty P's back in the pits. Who else we got in the pits there? Tuddy in 156.
So Dino, D Kaki has put himself into 3rd.
Yep.
It's a good lap from him in the Mercedes.
Yeah, it certainly is. Congratulations on your win last week too, mate. That was very close battles there. Stellar drive.
Thank you. It was a fantastic race with Slambo. Very, very difficult to be following someone so closely for the best part of 45 minutes, but it was good to get the win. Good to get the win for the team and see how we go for the rest of the championship.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I know that we're on the same team and everything like that, but I am a little bit jealous and envious of the fact that you're able to be up there at those sorts of speeds, and I would love to feel that again. I'm sure it'll come one day, but it's amazing that and obviously it shows the commitment that you have with putting in practice and doing your setups. It's critical to finishing high, so hats off to you, mate. So good drive.
Cheers. Though you're in fourth in the Bentley, so that's pretty bloody solid as well.
Fifth, I think it was.
Yeah.
I got pipped by Brennicles and HSV, who finished in third position.
Yep.
Yeah, great drive by him.
Certainly was. Another one in the Mercedes. So Mercedes goes well around here. The Ferraris in this service seem to have a bit of the upper hand though with Adam and Scott at the moment.
Tyre pressures, mate, around here. So track grips up, gets a little bit colder. How critical is it to have the tyre pressures right on wet tyres?
Yep, very, very critical. There is a bit of a wider window that you can have in terms of the pressures, but you don't want to be above or under them because you just won't have the grip. You're already lacking grip as it is, obviously, in the wet conditions. But if you're under or over pressured, it's not going to be a good time for you. So what they'll be looking for is in a window of, perhaps 29.5 to 30.5, maybe up to 31 at most. So it's a bigger window, but they'll have to keep an eye on them through the race. Obviously, driving style come into it, and Adam Kammer is 51.0.
Yeah, so when you say a wider window of opportunity, I knew that you weren't going to say 31.4 is in that window. That's where
unfortunately
I was
not.
That's where I was operating. Unfortunately, I stuffed up my tyre pressures because I figured if the track's going to drop off in track temperature, I'll accommodate for that. But driving around with over pressurised tyres was not ideal. So I'm not sure where if that would have contributed to anything. But the battles that I had there with Brennicles and whatnot towards through the race, and the one with Bart right up my flacker, I was on the edge the whole time pretty much. So these guys, they've watched the pro guys go out there last week. They've got some further intel has been passed down to them that they'll be able to use, and they would have been practicing with for the fortnight and especially this week. So Adam Kammer. So I've just been informed by our production team that its time right now would be pole position in the Pro-Am race that's also occurring tonight, and being broadcast and commentated by Nick and Nige. Those two guys, fantastic job last week in the pro round, and just to listen to those guys, fantastic. But I have no doubts that those guys are going to do a fantastic job tonight. And at the end of this race, I will certainly be jumping on board to watch the replay of what they do, and listening and taking in some ideas of ways that we can improve our stream. So
that's a great lap by Adam. So for comparison, in Pro last week, we slightly dipped into the 149s, just 49.9s. So he's, just a tick over a second off that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really good effort. It just shows you how close it is between Pro-Am and the AM guys. There's not a lot of wriggle room there. And I know that, even being in the Pro League, we've got the guys that are basically, chewing at our heels to get in up there also, and it's something that you need to continue to, maintain that high level of performance and understanding of setups, and I think that that's the key to being able to run around there. Probably helps that you can drive a little bit too, I guess. So I think so very interesting. So we've got 50 seconds to go. I don't think Kammer's going to get pipped at all here, Jamie. Pretty happy to see my good friend Scotty P up into second place as it stands.
So I'm just on board with him now, and he's about a quarter of a second up.
Yeah.
He's just lost a little bit now. He's clawing it back. So
did he invalidate his lap then?
Not quite. I think he's still on it. So, but he's yeah. It's upset him going off a little bit wide.
Yep.
Turn 7 or 8, I think that was. So still a few corners to go. He might be able to make up some time. Just approaching T11, the penultimate corner. Oh, he's gotten wide. He's going to hold it.
I can just picture him now. He would have been hanging off the side of that controller in his chair.
Unfortunately, that's the end of his qualifying as the clock's ticked down to 0.
Not a bad effort though. P2 so far. We'll just see if anyone else is coming through. So with the 15 runners that we've got tonight, there's a good spread of manufacturers, got a good spread of the teams. And I think that, what have we got? A couple coming through.
So I think we just have Robbo's the final.
Team Little Bears parked up. White Shadows. Oh, interesting that we've got 2 McLarens, 14 and 15. So maybe these guys are just struggling a little bit with these cars in the wet. Alrighty. So, mate, that's it.
Yep. Like we said, a superb time from Adam Kemmer taking pole with a 1:51.0. Continues the GRT dominance of qualifying. Can he do it again, or can GRT do it again in the race?
Yeah, well, it's on the cards. Just while we're waiting for these guys they'll be frantically going through their setups right now. And Slambo, hey buddy, how are ya? I just wanted to talk about one of our sponsors that we have, which is Selby Acoustic Racing. So selbyacoustic.com.au. So I had a look at their website, and one of the interesting things that I found with this particular company is that they offer free shipping with any purchase over $29. They've got a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, 1-year warranty included, and even just looking at their racing wheels and pedals, they've got a huge product list for Thrustmaster and some actually really nice looking gear. Even with the Thrustmaster TSS handbrake, Sparco mod, at just a lazy $549.95. Yeah, so some really good stuff there. Very easy website to navigate around. So, for the guys out there that, with their rigs and whatnot and looking to do upgrades, certainly encourage that you jump on through the websites of our sponsors and have a look. They support RaceOnOz, and if we can support them by purchasing and stuff through them, then it helps them out as well. So big shout out to Selby Acoustic, selby.com.au.
Got a nice little shop front down in Northcote, I believe, as well. Driven past it a couple of times, so
yep.
If anyone's in the area, they should pop in now that we can get out and about down here.
How good is that?
I think even people who hate shopping the most probably look forward to going into at least one or two of their favourites to just have a look at some stuff.
Yeah.
In person.
So there's where the problem lies, mate, because it would be like going to a Bunnings store, I reckon. You go in there with the intent to buy one thing, and they come out with about 5 things.
You're right.
And going into like Selby, I would be like a kid in a candy store, just wanting to upgrade and put things out there. So, but a big shout out to our other sponsors as well. So, ICR Ignition Controls, Pagnan, Next Level. So, as we both, me and yourself, mate, are running with the Next Level Ultimate V2 setup with the seats. Yeah, so there's some really good stuff out there that these that the sponsors have in their shops and on their website. So definitely jump on while we count down to 17 seconds before race start. Alrighty.
So
So
wondering
formation lap.
how these guys are feeling. We talked about how the rain just adds that extra layer of difficulty to what is already a tight grid. Many of these guys, still kind of getting up to speed. A few newbies on the grid as well might not have actually done a full race in the wet before. It'll be interesting to see how they go tonight. Adam on pole.
Yeah, I think that I'd like to think that whilst when the race actually starts with a rolling start, that they're just going to sort of take it easy and tiptoe around. And I know that some other people have the view of just sending it and tipping it down there. If I think of anyone at the moment, probably one name that comes to mind is JJ Penguin. So after Misano with his teammates racing each other there for the top 3 spots, I'm saying that just do it for the team. But yeah, that wasn't the message that we were getting through our live chat from JJ. Was just to send it. So it'll be interesting to see first corner. Absolutely, whether they just respect each other and race the race, or they try and stick their nose in. Yeah.
Nige made a really good point on our RaceOnOz Discord earlier about 3 lanes coming into turn 1, and I think that's very true. It's wide enough going into T1 that you can fit 3 cars side by side there, but you need to think about turn 2 after that, and 3 becomes 2 on a good day. So how they deal with that transition from turn 1 to turn 2 will be interesting.
And just looking at so far with the formation lap, the way they're forming up prior to race start is actually quite neat. So well done to those guys again. I believe the other week was very well done as well. So here we go. Quite excited about what this is going to look like. Whilst everyone's anticipating the start of this race, make sure that you jump on and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're certainly trying to boost the numbers up, and make sure that you push the like button and the little bell so you get the alerts for when live streams are scheduled. So really appreciate that support from you guys as well, and thank you to Cameron Footner for reminding me about that.
It's coming down into turn 1. Kaki deep on the brakes from 3rd. Adams held the lead. Battle between. There's someone around at the back there.
I think that's Incy in the Jaguar.
It was, yes. Just coming back to the front. So Kaki's managed to take Scotty. Oh, and they've come together, and Scotty's hit the back of Kaki there and pushed him off into the barrier. Oh, that's a big shame for him.
So it looks like he's got a fair bit of damage too. This won't be ideal. He'll need to go into the pits, I would say.
So Adam leads Scotty Pye, who has Black Falcon for company in 3rd.
Would it be fair to say that Black Falcon likes this sort of close racing after what we saw at Misano?
Oh, he certainly got well practiced, so I'm sure he'll be confident.
I like your choice of words there, mate. Well practiced.
So I believe we have another spinner. That's Spitzer missing in the Audi. Yeah, so he's going down the order there.
Yeah, that's not a good start. So Team ICR 14 and 15, with Karki just trying to make it around the track. Looks like he's just trying to get into the pits. I'm hoping that no, he's not. He's going to cycle around. So that's an interesting call that he's doing that. I guess at the same time, visually the car looks like it's damaged a lot, but that might not be a lot of performance damage to his car.
Possibly not, and he might decide to uh, do one of his mandatory pit stops in 15 or 20 minutes and perhaps fix it up then. Maybe he's just evaluating to see how bad it is or what its effect on his lap time before making the ultimate call.
Yeah, good call, mate. Hey, I'm just up front here with these two boys, Adam and Scotty P, and I'll tell you what, Scotty P is not letting him run away with this. We saw how dominant he was in practice, and we saw how dominant his lap times were through qualifying, but Scotty P will be having his fingers on those buttons absolutely dialed in to maintain this closeness behind Adam. So I just saw that Adam was actually driving defensively, so he is looking, and he will be looking in the mirror. We have a mirror full of white and blue Ferrari, but we've got a pack of four. It's quite close with these guys.
Black Falcon's right there, and CK is right behind him as well. So you can see that they're all four of them are kind of struggling to hook up a whole lap. So they're just trying to get into a rhythm. But the end result is that they're very close on track.
And what's interesting too, mate, is top four different teams.
It certainly is. Yeah.
Certainly going to make for some interesting shuffles through the teams championship with the points. But so far it's looking good with these guys.
Up the front, yes, I think we've had another spinner at some point around the last lap. Daz was running in fifth. He's now popped into the pits. He looked like he had a little bit of damage.
Yeah, it's look, it's bound to happen. So we've got Tuddy and Karki. Yeah, so I reckon Karki would definitely have to do some repairs here.
Yeah, he's probably seen his delta on the time and thought, nah, I've got to come in and get this fixed up.
Yeah, too difficult to run around like that. But Camus still at the front, but only just. Scotty P's bloody all over him like a rash. But I can just see, you know, if Scotty P pulled this off and won, I reckon he'd be a very excited young man.
Certainly would be. I'm sure Adam, Black Falcon and CKJ would be very keen to take the place from him, take a win here, because they can see it only a couple of cars ahead. So
yeah, well, it definitely looks like Scotty P's got slightly shallower line coming out of the corner. So in terms of setup, I'm not sure if K-Man's assisted him at some point with a setup or someone in the team, but if they have, then yeah, he's certainly gotten onto something quite good. So just to continue this pressure, CK's probably just dropped back a little bit off the back of Black Falcon, but still close enough to get a little bit of slipstream and stay in there for the hunt. So yeah, it's good. Jamie, I was just quickly reading what you sent through the other day with regards to the history of this track. First event 1986 after 8 months of construction. I didn't realise that the track was that young.
yeah, it's being built before the end of the kind of the end of the old Soviet Union. was kind of an interesting time to hold a Formula One event in Hungary. But yeah, it was built in rapid time, and it's been on the Formula One grid since 1986. So even though it's not that old,
Scotty
it's
Pye's
probably
gone around. Sorry, mate.
he has, yeah.
Yep. Keep going.
Yeah, so even though it's not the oldest track, like a Spa or a Monza or a Silverstone or something like that, it's actually got quite a number of Formula One Grand Prix under its belt, as well as playing host to many other championships, such as our GT3 cars that we drive in here.
Yeah, so
it's a
pulled
shame.
back in position
Shame for
5.
Scotty.
Yeah. Looks like he's coming in to do his first stop. So he's just going to try and obviously get some clean air, try and regain some time back on Camera and the rest of the boys up there at the front. But so Camera's got a 2-second lead on Black Falcon, Team VHR.
Yep, so we've just seen... Sorry, go on, Ads.
No, you're right, mate. You go. You've got this one.
Yeah, so he's just taken Robbo there. I believe that's the 7th. He's in the Jaguar. He's doing all right. He was performing well in Misano in the upper midfield, I would say, which is probably not where I expected someone driving a Jag to be, but he's throwing it around there and doing equally as well in the wet.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised with that too. After my testing with the Jaguar, the only thing that I got good out of it was the sound of the thing inside the car. So for him to to take that leap of faith with this particular vehicle and to put it where he has been quite good. So, but yeah, so NZ Robbo's up in P8. So that's not a bad effort. We've got a few of the guys that are behind him have done their pit stops already. Hopefully he can keep it on track and in the race for the whole race. That'd be good.
One of our early pit stoppers, Little Bear, typical, loves to pit quite early, at least one of his stops, sometimes both of them in the first 10 or 15 minutes. Likes a bit of clean air, but he's got Max right behind him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he does, doesn't he, in the Audi? I don't know what the Audi's like to drive around this track in the wet. I can't. Who's driving it? There's a little bit just got a bit squirrely. Who was that? Sorry.
Vic.
Oh, that's right. Vic's in the Audi. He had a spin too. Yeah. No, that's correct. So yeah, Vic did struggle with that vehicle.
So Max isn't doing too bad. He got a bit of pace out of it at Misano in the dry as well. But him and Little Bear seem to be quite close on pace here in the wet at the Hungaroring.
But certainly spread out. Did you have a punt today at all, mate, on the Melbourne Cup?
I just saw Incy, I think, go off. So Incy has just relinquished the place to
got that.
NZ Robbo. Sorry about that. No, I did not. The only thing I scored today was a sunburn at the beach. So probably not the win I was hoping for.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with days like today, mate. Yeah, especially when you're in Melbourne. You 4 seasons in one day, but when you've been covered up for quite a few months and you go out in a day like today, would it get to probably about 29, 30 degrees?
Yeah, quite a warm one.
Yeah, certainly wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. I don't punt traditionally, but I do on Melbourne Cup Day, and I can tell you that I probably shouldn't have done because I didn't win a single thing. So I don't look at the form guide and look at history of horses. I just pick because of a name or a colour of their jersey that they're wearing, and that's about it as far as I go. Which is probably why I haven't won.
It's only 12 months to the next one.
That's it, mate. Hopefully it's not as long as 12 months as what we've been experiencing with the COVID situation.
Absolutely. Hoping that everyone tuning in tonight is enjoying some freedoms for those of you who have been locked down like Adam and I have been for the last year and a half, most of it. So get out there and enjoy it, and then come back and do some sim racing.
Yeah, that sounds good. Make sure you get onto our sponsors and buy some gear. Max is putting pressure on Team Little Bear. He's taking slightly defensive line there, Team Little Bear. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, so it's good that even this far down the field, the guys are fighting as close as what they are. It's all very competitive.
Then we have Tuddy just a second and a half up the road from these two as well. I'm not quite sure how much practice Tuddy managed to get in during the week. Seems to be, I can see he's sliding quite a lot, so he's might be lacking a bit of grip. Well, everyone will be lacking grip in the rain, but he might be lacking it a bit more than some of the others.
Oh, look, let's be honest. If you come in to a race like this with not much practice, as Little Bear gets a bit squirrely coming out of that turn 11 there, but if you don't get that much practice, it's really hard to be consistent each lap, especially with the track like this. So at the end of the day, that's okay as long as he's having fun. And I'm sure that behind that helmet visor, he's got a huge big smile from ear to ear, and probably grimacing teeth at times when he and clenching when he gets a little bit sideways on exit of some of those corners. I was just going to say too, mate, just quickly, we've got 45 minutes to go, and the guys are spread out, and we'll definitely wait for some of these pit stops because I think that will be a bit of a game changer. But you mentioned about the COVID stuff and the impact that COVID's had, and Stu, one of the moderators for RaceOnOz, made a comment through Discord the other week with regards to men's health, making sure that you reach out and if there's anything that you're feeling or just want to discuss anything, that there's a bunch of guys in this community that are there to provide support and an ear for a listen or whatever it might be. And a lot of the guys in here, whilst we don't see each other, but relationships that are built, friendships, it's important. And I know that with this situation, from a men's health point of view, the things that we do here on track, the laughter that goes on is really, really important, and it's good for our mental healthy side of things. So strongly recommend that if there's things going on you're not sure about, just if you can reach out, ask, talk to somebody. I can't stress that enough. So we're always here as friends and mates.
Well said. It's a wonderful community, and so there's always someone willing for a chat or a race or a whatever might make you get through the day or feel a bit better. There's some wonderful people here at Ruse, and people were very, very willing to help and lend an ear.
We've lost a driver.
We have
NZ
Robbo, yep.
Yeah.
Just taking a look, White Shadow is closely following Fresh Prince here. It's about a second behind. So we haven't said a lot about White Shadow. He was the 4th GRT driver in last round's GRT route of the field. He finished just outside of the top 10. Doesn't get a lot of time to jump in and practice, so he's a mate of Riggsy's. But when he does, he gets in there and drives the thing up. Oh, and he's just come around the last corner. Didn't do a full spin though, so he can keep going without too much time lost. But he's doing well here in sixth position.
Actually, you've just drawn me to White Shadow, and then Fresh Prince, who in practice was struggling, has just pulled away, obviously through White Shadow's mistake. But in the Porsche, it looks like he's doing okay. So I'm pretty happy that he's sounds like he's got that one nailed for where he's comfortable. Cycling around, and the thing with the Porsche is you've got to be so precise with this thing. You just can't drive the curves like you can with, like the Bentley or I'm going to say the AMG. I don't think it's quite as good as the Bentley in terms of riding curves. But yeah, it's just one of those cars, the Porsche, you've really got to, stick it in there, be precise with your inputs, steering inputs, and try and get a really good exit. So he's doing a really good effort so far to be up in there in P5. Just looking at CK, he has closed in on Black Falcon. So I'm not sure if Black Falcon's actually made a mistake for him to then catch up, but he's 6/10 behind.
I think this just might be a bit of a turn of pace from CK. The gap between Adams stretch out the gap to about 4.5 seconds, and I think it's been about this for the last few laps. I apologise, I've taken my eye off that time, but so CK is really picking up the pace. So on that lap, he was 0.2 quicker.
Yeah, that's right now he's probably got the right tyre pressures, I would say. So his car's feeling quite comfortable. What he needs to do is absolutely just, be patient behind Black Falcon and just see if you can put a little bit more pressure on him, which it looks like Black Falcon's just pulled away just slightly, a couple of tenths, but that could change in a heartbeat, as we know. So Team Little Bear is the first of the to complete both mandatory pit stops, as you predicted, mate, so good call.
We also have Tuddy and Daz who have done the same, so they've got a solid 40-minute stint to go.
Yeah, it certainly, I can't remember from last week when the track actually started to grip up, because right now it's at 20 degrees, which is where I think it finished at for the end of the pro round. So what are we? Well, 10 laps in. I think it probably should have started by now, gripping up. So definitely some of these guys are going to start to see the benefits of that. So, and that's maybe where CK has adjusted his car from the start, where he's allowed for that to come in and be a better performing vehicle for him.
He's driving well. It will be interesting, as you say. He'll start to turn his mind to strategy now. It's a difficult track to pass on in the dry, but in the wet, I think it's even more difficult because your reliance on getting such a good exit out of the final turn with the wet and the traction, you're modulating the accelerator, and the driver in front's doing the same. With the aero wash, it's very, very difficult. So you might be thinking about when he's taking his first stop. It'd be interesting to see how these guys have done their fuel loads as well.
Yeah. In terms of actually taking a pass on somebody, where would that occur, do you think? Where's the best spot where a pass is going to take place?
So turn one would be the best one. It'd be the most cleanest opportunity that you'd have because of the straight and because of the nice deep braking and nice wide profile of the corner. But you can also, as we saw last week, HSV bloody awesome pass hanging around the outside on turn 2 and taking the inside into turn 3. So that's an opportunity. Risky because there's potential for contact coming in there as you switch, but it can be done. Other than that, you can look at coming into T12 as well as a short straight, but there's a deep braking section there, so if you get a run on someone coming out of T11, there's an opportunity for you there. And
it's critical to get a good exit out of the first couple of corners leading into where you think you might set up a pass. So, and I'm glad that you brought that up about HSV. Big shout out to HSV as well. That was a brilliant pass that he. Who was that on? Was that Brennicles, I think, wasn't it, for P&L?
It was a P&L McLaren, so it must be Brennicles,
yeah,
yes.
Brennicles, yeah. So that's nuts that he did that on the outside. I don't know if that's something that I would have attempted to do, but I guess that just shows the difference. It's either the difference between age or the size of the kahunas. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was a brilliant move. I remember watching that on the replay and was quite impressed. So if that doesn't make it into the highlight reel for overtakes, that's yeah, I'd be certainly surprised about that one. So and just want to do a big shout out to the guys that work in the background. So Andrelli, Camango with their putting their highlight reel together for each round for the AM, Pro Am and the Pro. Very well done. Definitely jump on board with that. We want to smash the likes, smash the views on all these videos. So absolutely, if you haven't subscribed already, bloody make sure you do. We've got to support what these guys do, and they do such a good job. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that little bell. And you'll be waking up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning with replays of things that are going on that you can lay there in bed and watch on your iPad, hopefully, like I do. So he's dropped off just a little bit. Falcon's done alright actually to pull that gap.
So he's brought the gap down to Adam to 3.6 seconds.
Oh, I see that. That's very interesting. So he's still got a lot of time where he could. We'll keep an eye on that one actually, Jamie, with the time difference there between these guys. But yeah, it's interesting too, just looking at this with positions whilst these guys cycle around. But with GRT finishing 1, 2, and 3 last round at Misano, so certainly BHR is only a few points behind from a team's point of view. So BHR currently cycling around in 2nd and 4th, with Tuddy down in position 14, but he's also done both of his stops. So this could certainly close the gap depending on what happens in the Pro-Am round that's happening tonight. Hopefully some of you guys are cycling between the two, and if you are, certainly give us an update on who's out in front and who qualified in P1. Always good to know what that looks like. For the Pro-Am. Yep. So huge crash at turn 1 apparently on the Pro-Am. So that's a replica of the Pro round with a few of the guys touching each other and having a crash. So yeah, that's interesting, Jamie. That I can't wait to see the replay on that one. So we just got production. Sorry, Jamie. I'll let you run with this. But just got production in our ear. Give us a bit of an update. So yeah, what was that, Jamie, with the update?
I was just going to echo the same thing. It sounds like there's plenty of interesting stuff going on in Pro-Am. And Slambo's just put in the chat as
The only thing I've got to say to Slambo, such a great bloke as well, Kiora, mate, Kiora. Yeah, I like the way that he's written that. He's kept it neat, you know, within the so the children can still view this race. Kept it at PG rather than it being MA. So, well, that's if Andrelli was on pole. So he won last round at Misano, and got turned around at turn 1. Yeah, I'm not sure what he would have been what was going through his head once that happened, but I'm sure that we'll probably hear about it at some stage.
So the big chunk of the gap just come down between Adam and Falcon, so we've got under 3 seconds now. I was keeping an eye on him, and it was kind of ebbing and flowing. Adam would pull out some tenths, Falcon would claw it back, but I wonder if Adam, what sort of a moment he's had.
You know, you find sometimes too, Jamie, like when you, I say this from experience, but hasn't happened for a long time, but you know, when you are out in front and you're cycling around, you've got no pressure on, sometimes you can lose a little bit of focus. That's actually happened to me. So, you know, you might start to miss a few braking points or whatever it might be, and yeah, so that can play a big part. So he's just pulled back out to 3.22 seconds. So maybe he had a moment where he allowed Falcon to close back in.
So just dived on to Falcon. He's pulling off his best laps of the race at the moment. So his last 2 laps where he is consecutively his best 2.
Yeah, so the onboard with Falcon, just the Nissan, I just love the GTR, the sound when it's, you know, through the gear change, and it should be quite exciting. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, Jamie, have you seen the update for the and I'll probably say this wrong as well, the Lamborghini Super, I think it's a Super Trophy, 650 horsepower. Have you seen that video that's come out through YouTube of that thing?
No, I haven't. I think that was posted in the Discord the other day. I've been meaning to have a look.
Holy crap, mate. It looks amazing. It's got this huge big fishbone fin right down the centre towards the back. But it sounds amazing. Like this, and I think that JJ might have even just voiced it as well through Discord that would make a brilliant one make series. So if that happens through the update that's coming out in February to console, I will not be commentating and I will not be broadcasting. I will be racing 100%. So yeah, someone else will have the responsibility to do that.
I look forward to seeing us go around in that then. It's always good to have some awesome new cars come on to ACC.
So when I talk about the update, so there's a few other new cars coming, there's a few tracks, balance of performance to some vehicles as well will be updated, which will certainly make things interesting. But all sounds really good, and correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I believe it will only be available through PS5. So if you don't yet have a PS5 and you're looking to upgrade, make sure that you jump on now, start looking, not while you're racing obviously, once you've finished racing, let your fingers do the walking, but definitely, Jamie, camera's gone wide, just out there, I'm just on board with
Falcon.
Black Falcon, He was way wide, so I reckon he might be struggling with some understeer there.
Alright, so it's on now.
It is.
Falcon, so Cameron can see Falcon in his mirrors. He'll be nice and big. That Nissan is a giant of a vehicle, so it'll be intimidating coming up.
I'm just going
Under
to
his
jump
rear
on
wing.
with Camo too, mate. He doesn't look like he's taken the normal lines. Geez, I just wonder if something's going on there where he's struggling with. So again, we don't know what the fuel load is that both of these guys have started on. But yeah, so he's gone around.
He
His
has.
back end. His back end.
Oh,
It just didn't look right.
oh, and he's lost out to CK as
He
well.
has as well.
So
and he's
he'll
going to be getting some
be.
pressure from McSquid. Well, that's a turn. So we've got Team BHR in position 1 with Black Falcon, and all he did was stay consistent, stay the path, and just let Camo know that he was closing in and put enough pressure on him for him to potentially have made a mistake. So he'll be. I'm not sure where Falcon's finished previous with other races, but I feel like he'd be just about jumping out of his skin right now. He's got to bloody breathe and contain himself, and be fast, but be very strict with his steering inputs and throttle and brake application. And I'm just on board with him now. Just even some of the little oversteer corrections that he's doing coming out of the corners. It's he's not doing it easy, but interesting.
Yep, good driving from him so far. He's a returning driver to Ruse. He participated in our inaugural season, I believe, or at least the initial races of the inaugural season, and took a bit of a break from sim racing, and he's back now. So he's not a complete newbie, but he's been out of the game for a while. So,
okay.
But he was quite quick when we all had first picked it up. He definitely wasn't slow.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I wasn't aware of that. Geez, taking a break from sim racing, is that at all possible?
It's I couldn't imagine it personally myself. It's something that's pretty imprinted in my life at the moment.
So Slambo's just put a comment up there. Turn the game volume up a little. Boys need to hear those engines. So I'm not sure how it's actually coming out. But yeah, I agree, Slambo. There's nothing better than hearing the sound of these things at the same time when you've got two professional blokes commentating a race with some good results so far for some of these guys. He's still actually got to do both of his pit stops too, so it'll be interesting to see where he cycles out. But geez, he's fanging it, and he's doing well. So let's just have a look, see what else is going on through
So
the
we've got
race.
5 of them that haven't made a pit stop yet. The top 5. It'd be interesting. So obviously Scotty P has been cycling around now for a while. He pitted quite early after going around from 2nd position. I don't think he's had much traffic as well. So he could be on for a good one here if he's managed to keep it nice and consistent.
Is that Scotty P?
Yeah.
Yep. No Rugrats. Have you seen that movie?
Rugrats. I used to watch it
No,
on
not
the
Rugrats.
TV.
No. Scotty P's in. Shivers now. I can't even think of the movie. It's where they drive a motorhome into Mexico to do a run of product.
Bad, not familiar.
Yeah. If I think about it through this, I'll let you know. It's definitely a good. It's got Jennifer Aniston in the movie, mate. And she does a little show and tell section, which is quite interesting. for all the little kiddies out there that are watching tonight, make sure that yeah, just stick to your normal shows. You definitely don't need to be saying that stuff.
I've just popped on to Max Gassett, who's following White Shadow around, putting him under a bit of pressure here.
A bit of pressure.
It's probably the closest battle I can see on track at the moment. So yeah, just heard that White Shadow that wasn't planned to be racing tonight, but he's jumped in after being called out of work. So as I mentioned a bit earlier, you know, he can't make all the races and he can't often put a lot of practice in. Sounds like a busy bloke, but he's doing a fine job.
No, he certainly is. And you know, when you're actually just watching Kaki come around there too, so he's cleaned up and wings damage. You know, when you get blokes like that and the commitment to, you know, come and have a crack and put four wheels on a track and be competitive is a really good effort. And you know, again, as I said earlier, it's about and geez, I tell you, I'll always put the mock on people. He's just gone around, but so Little Bear's cycling around. He's sitting in behind Bits of Missing and Kaki.
It looks like they've got a struggling Adam Kammer in the mix as well, obviously on a lap ahead.
Yeah, so if these guys are fighting for position, what's the call with blue flags, mate? They've just got to concede and let them through. So
yeah, they will have to. There's obviously no in-game penalty for that, but at the end of the day, if you don't relinquish the position, it can go into the stewards for a review. Obviously, you know, factors are taken into consideration, but yeah, you can't ignore the blue flags for too long, as it looks like. What's happened there?
Well, I'm still on with Team Little Bear, and he's still putting a fair bit of pressure on.
Ah, okay, yep.
So the blue flags are waving as these guys come around. So Kammer's definitely he doesn't need this right now. If he was looking to gain any time back on the Black Falcon and CK,
I would pit if I was him, which is exactly what he does.
Yep. So just looking at the live chat, we've got one of the greats of RaceOnOz, so Stuart Barkley. G'day Stu, how are you, buddy? Don't forget me, mate, with sending out that setup too that you spoke about today. So pretty keen to get some lap practice in on that particular one that you've put together. So appreciate that. As Team Little Bear, what time did Stu? Are you able to tell us what time you did at Paul Ricard on that setup that you've got there, mate? Minute 51. That's excellent. That's very fast. What are you doing at the moment, Jamie, around there?
Paul Ricard?
Yeah.
55? Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I hope so.
Something like that.
I haven't even turned the lap yet. That's what happens when you go away on holidays, I suppose.
Scotty Pye's back in for his second pit stop. So that's interesting because I was wondering if he was taking advantage of the free track that he had for a lot of that stint to see where he would pop out, but he's come back in for his second stop, so...
Yeah, I feel like he could be a factor for these guys up the front. If he's got clean air again, like it looks like he has, certainly giving himself every opportunity to have a podium finish anyway. So that will be a really good effort by Scotty P. But Team Little Bear is actually doing very well as well, and I shouldn't sound surprised when I say it like that, because it's not fair. But he has he's put himself up on on notice. With a little bit of banter that he's got going on with JJ at the moment. So certainly he's a bit like a deer in the headlights at the moment, which is I'm sure he's loving.
I was just unfortunately on board with Scotty P coming out of turn 3, and the camera angle that we had on, he spun off the track to the right, the camera angle stayed the same, and then Max Gassett followed him in and spun off to the left. So it was a bit of an SAR car park at the exit of turn 3.
Yep. He's coming for his first mandatory stop. Actually, that's one of the things I found difficult last week, coming into the pits with a wet pit. When the box is wet, it's very easy to overshoot the box, just with locking up brakes and sliding through. So I did that on my first stop, unfortunately. So extra care definitely needs to be taken. But from what Incy stopped there, it looked like it was a good one, so that's good. Oh, thanks, Lambo. Appreciate that, mate. I know that, we've looked after each other a lot when we're in the force together. So even though we're on different teams now, I don't feel like that should change anything. So the camaraderie that's between the guys too, Jamie, is at a high level with. Like you spoke about before with the community, it's just amazing. Black Falcon is in the pits.
He is, and it looks like a splash and dash. A little bit slow to get going off the jacks, but he's away.
He's come out with no one behind him, pretty much within sight, and clear track in front. So he looks like he's. Sorry, mate.
So Adam is just coming over the start-finish line now. So Falcon's got quite a gap.
Yeah.
So we've got some action with Khaki and Shadow. Shadow's gone wide coming into turn 4. Kaki's putting pressure on him. And Kaki's gone wide into turn 4. Gonna have to get it around. He looks like he's picked up a bit of damage somewhere along the line.
Is that, Shadow?
Khaki.
Khaki.
Well, they both actually look a bit chipped on the front of their cars, don't they? Yeah.
It's interesting, the in-game visuals. You know, it's easy for us to sit here and watch and think, what does that look like? How's that happened? And what does it do to the performance of the cars? It's sometimes a slight little bit of damage can be very, very damaging. Is that Black Falcon coming up behind it is? Yep, so he'll want to capitalise if he catches up to these guys. He'll want to just drive straight through. Dudes, I'll tell you what, mate, I've just looked at the time left for the race, 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Last time I looked there, it was 45 minutes, so where the hell did that half an hour just go?
Definitely flies by. We got CK in for it all. He nailed that stop. That was a splash and dash. I don't think he... I think he nailed every part of that stop. The coming into the box, leaving the box out of the off the jacks. It was so quick.
Has Falcon's gone through already too, hasn't? Yep, he's just heading down into turn 2. We've got McSquid in the BHR Bentley. Still needs to do his 2 pit stops, so just looking at his car as well, so it's clean, no damage. So really good effort. Jesus, who's this Joe Mahoney bloke riding Trader? Geez, that's a bit, yeah, unsportsmanlike.
So just having a look, we've got Scotty P on Incy coming down the main straight. Has a look into the first corner, but not quite close enough. Although he's gone a bit wide, Incy in the Jag. So Scotty's going to have... It's going to be closer to turn 2. Can he hang it on the outside, Scotty?
He has to.
And then on the inside into turn 3, and he's done it. So nice move from him as he's working his way back after a couple of incidents. Though Incy in the Jag, geez, that's got a lot of top end speed, hasn't it?
It has. We noticed that at Misano too, between him and Black Falcon in the Nissan. Couldn't believe the top end speed. But yeah, so even though Incy is still yet to do a pit stop, it's still fighting for position. So he certainly doesn't need to give that position to Scotty P, which is what he's trying not to do. He's still hanging in there, which is good. Black Falcon's just in for his second pit stop. So this will be just stopping now. He's still up on the jack stands.
Oh, this is quite long.
Is that Camo's come into the pits as well? So yeah, maybe what, 10, 15 litres of fuel, Jamie, you reckon?
Probably, yeah. So he's stationary for about 10 seconds or so.
Yep.
Alright, so this will be interesting because CK's first stop was very quick, and I think he had actually gained some time on Falcon through that phase of stops. So if CK doesn't have to take any fuel, he could be back into contention here.
Scotty Pie on Camo, here we go. Camo's just exited the pits. He's going to have slightly colder tyres than Scotty P. Right now, Scotty P is in a good position to be on the podium here, I reckon. If you think about the spins that he's had too, Jamie, he's had 2 significant spins, I think. If that didn't occur, he would certainly be well up from where he is right now.
Yeah, so both of these guys have kind of been in the wars during this race. They were running 1 and 2 in the opening laps.
Yeah, it's interesting. Two Ferraris together, and you know the lines that they're both taking are both very different. So both of these guys will certainly have different setups to suit their style of driving and what they're actually driving with. So yeah, Scotty will definitely be looking to get past Camo here at some point. So he's still got just under 10 minutes to go to be able to try and achieve that. But Squid's still out the front, so he in Team BHR is doing very well. CK in position 2, still 1 mandatory pit stop to go. And then so far with both mandatory stops is Black Falcon in the Nissan ZTR with the green BHR colours.
Okay, so I got a quick readout of the time there. CK had a lead on Falcon of about 30 seconds. So the time that you're looking for a pit stop at a splash and dash is about 35 seconds. So he's getting there. He's getting close to that window where he could be really close to Falcon.
Yeah, so the last few minutes could be quite interesting. So Nigel would be, I'm not sure if Nigel would be aware of this yet with CK, but as a team captain, Nigel would be very, very proud of what he's been able to achieve so far. And you know, if he pulls this off, then certainly there will be some celebrations with these guys post race, I would reckon.
Absolutely.
Looking at the behaviour of his car too, mate, like just very neat and tidy. Not even really going out to the ripple strip. So nice tight lines. So right now that's actually doing very well for him in that vehicle. And equally the same as Black Falcon too. So you know, in the Nissan DDR's just cycling around doing what he needs to do. Great effort.
Scotty's right on the back here of Adam. Adam's going defensive down into turn 12.
Yeah, I feel like, because this is really close, Scotty P is just wanting to get past him, so I'm not going to say that this would happen, but there'd been an element of frustration and nervousness and being anxious, so once he gets a good exit there, there's every opportunity where, you know, you can touch and take each other out, so Camera's going very, it's all over the place. This is a good battle between these guys.
It is, and as you remarked, you know, different lines at different parts of the tracks, so it's interesting to see where they're trying to hunt for that grip. And Scotty might be losing a little bit with some of the aero wash coming off the back running so closely.
But yeah, so far with the guys cycling around, we've got we've had some really good battles, and certainly, you know, this battle that we're looking at right now between these two guys, I have no doubts that you know, they'll be very happy to finish, and obviously in a high position. But this is a lot of pressure to be able to, you know, doing this sort of stuff with someone that far up your backside. So Squid's in the pits, so I'm thankful of that. I was wondering if you might have forgotten that he needed to actually do 2 pit stops.
So where will he cycle out here? He could be around this battle actually.
So where are those boys now?
So he's away, but he's still got one more stop to do.
Yeah, he does. So he's just exited, taking turn 1 now. Yeah, I agreed. HSV, Nigel would definitely be proud, mate. I know he's proud of all of you guys, and you know, for what your team's been through and achieving. So it's an excellent effort by all of you guys in Team ICR. So we're just still on the battle here with Camera and Scotty P. It's definitely close. Who we got there? I'm just waiting for. So CK's just cycling around. He's coming down to turn 12 now, and then 12A, which he'll take. Got 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes to complete his last stop. So should be very interesting to see where he pops out. We might have a last lap or 2 lap. Here he is, he's in the pits now, mate. He's just dropped in. Okay. So I'm actually going to just stay on CK and just see what sort of pit stop he actually has and where he pops out.
So Falcon coming into turn 12 at the moment, about to hit 13. I think it'll need to be a very quick stop from CK.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, if it's a splash and dash, he might be on.
Falcon just rounding the last corner now and onto the start finish straight.
Yep, it was a splash and dash. He's coming out. Oh, oh no! On exit,
no.
He's bloody spun it up and he's gone into the wall.
Oh,
damn! What a mishap.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I think that would have been quite close. So he'll be kicking himself there. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little bit excited. Squid's in the pits, coming out of the pits.
Alright, so where's this all cycled out?
So Camera and Scotty P, yeah, they've gone through.
they have. So I think CK's managed to hold out in front of them. Just looking further down, we've got Little Bear in a fabulous 7th. That's a great result, but I think he's just had a spin coming out of the second last corner. But he's got a bit of a gap on Khaki. And he's about to take Incy. So 6th place for Team Little Bear.
Actually, you'd nearly take a screenshot of this and just put it in a frame and send it to him, I reckon. He'd be pretty happy with that. And to give him some airtime through the live stream as well. I mean, you know, this is a conversation I was actually just having with my brother the other day. I know that, you know, with this racing and one of the ways to build up the views is to give all the guys, you know, some airtime, because, you know, when you do go back and watch the replay, whilst it's good to see the battles and it's good to, you know, see what's happening, I'm not sure if you're the same as me, Jamie, but it's nice to see you on screen, and, you know, if you've spoken about it, certainly gives you a nice warm feeling. So I think you've been looking at the analytics of the RaceOnOz YouTube streams. Have you got any data from that, or intel? Any findings?
There's definitely a lot there, so I haven't dug too deeply into it at the moment, but I'm planning to, and seeing if I can find out a little bit of some insights that we can use as a league to boost the profile and do something a little bit better. You know, we're always looking to get a bit better, and whether it's broadcasting or anything that we do. So yeah, if we can find something that's interesting, we can definitely use it.
Yeah, I know that it definitely, you know, gives you data on people that just jump in and have a quick look, or if they, you know, depending on, give you a percentage on sort of what their viewing time is, and so yeah, whatever, you know, whatever we can do through our part to help boost that, just let us know, and hopefully we can reach out there. Yeah, I'm on just on Falcon at the moment for the last lap. So this has been an absolutely fantastic drive by him to come in. No, I'll say that if he doesn't turn it around here. I think there's going to be one more lap after this. So yeah, this is going to shake up the team championship table a little bit, Jamie.
Just confirming that he was on the last lap there. Yeah, yes, absolutely. So Adam for GRT still being hounded by Scotty P. He's the top running GRT driver, with White Shadow being the only other GRT driver, I think, in this division tonight. And a good result for BHR and ICR. Just having a look at the comment there. So Alan Pond, quick comment on Freshy. So I don't think we saw what happened to Freshy. He's been parked up in the pits for a while, so I'm not sure whether he perhaps picked up too much damage.
Yeah, there's also the possibility of being in the Porsche as well. He's probably just worked out that it might be a little bit too difficult to drive, but especially in the wet. But geez, that's on Scotty P there for a second. He's giving Kama an absolute bruising. Kama's definitely going to need to go and put an ice pack on that back end when he's finished this race, because Scotty P is all over it. But we've got Black Falcon in the Team BHR Nissan GTR. He's coming around, coming into turn 6, turn 7. Right now, he will be just absolutely so thrilled with himself, and Scotty P is, I can't believe these two guys have had a battle like this for such a good part of the race, so that's a really good effort.
Super close racing.
I wonder if Scotty P's old man's watching him from the room behind, mate. He's lost it. And who's he got behind him? No, he's not going to lose any places there, so that's probably very lucky.
Yeah, but Falcon's taken the checkered flag though, so first place for Falcon and the Nismo.
And CK in position 2, and Adam Kemmer with a little pressure taken off there from Scotty P's unfortunate mishap, but yeah, so that's a good effort. We've got BHR, ICR and GTR. Oh, sorry, GRT have come through in third place there with Scotty P for Selby Acoustic Racing in P4. McSquid P5, so it's a really good effort. Team Little Bear coming over the finish line. We're just going to see if he's going to have the lights flashing. It's a really good effort for him to finish in position 6. No lights flashing, but well done, mate. That's a good, strong finishing position with Incy coming over in the Jaguar. Followed very closely by D. Karki in the AMG. And as you had stated before too, Jamie, with White Shadow, so he started in position 14 and been able to finish in position 9, so that's a really good effort as well. So there you go, that's a wrap. That's a really good effort by those guys.
Yeah, fantastic race, plenty of battles. It spread out for a little bit there in the middle, but definitely came back with a vengeance towards the end there as the pit stops played out and perhaps fatigue got to a few of the drivers and we started to see some mistakes. But at the end of the day, Falcon taken victory by 20 seconds, and he kept it on the black stuff. Didn't make the mistakes, and ultimately deserved the win. So well done, Falcon, and well done, CK and Adam as well for rounding out the podium.
Team captain Gazza would be super excited about this result, and also that Squid's come in at 5th, so this is the opportunity that he'll see that can gain some points back on Baradog's GRT team. So I have a feeling that this is going to come down to the wire between a lot of these teams. It's going to be very, very close. And we've just had NZ Robbo pop back up, so I'm not sure. Maybe he has had some issues with his internet. But if that's the case, then get some points for that position, I think. Sorry, Jamie, you were going to say something?
I was just watching the ICR Bentley boys doing the full cool down lap and driving into the pits.
Yeah.
For the full experience. Why not?
Absolutely. Well, that's been fantastic tonight. It's great with the viewers that we've had. Awesome with the comments. So thank you again to participate and give us some insight into thoughts of what you're seeing and hearing. So really appreciate any feedback for us that we can implement and look to improve. So just want to say thank you to the production team cycling through to the cameras, and RaceOnOz for hosting the race tonight on the AM series with a great bunch of fellas. So if these guys are watching the replay back post this race, well done to everyone. It was a really good effort, some really good battles there, and congratulations to the guys that finished in P1, 2 and 3. So anything that you wanted to add, Jamie?
No, just reiterate that and congratulate all the guys, and looking forward to round 3, sprint round, Paul Ricard, Pro next Tuesday and Pro M&M in a fortnight.
I didn't know that it was a sprint round. I'm a bit nervous about that now.
Just adds another layer, something different. In the first
Absolutely.
3 rounds are all different from each other, so keeps everyone on their toes.
That's it, mate. All right, thank you very much for jumping in tonight and helping, and especially after being sunburnt today, mate. So make sure you go and drink plenty of water and look after yourself, and I'll look forward to catching up with you through the week for some practice sessions.
Certainly. Cheers, Hats.
Thanks, mate. See you later. Bye-bye. You there, JJ?